episode. This is Dave and Pat's Fireside Chats. It's the first of its kind, maybe the last of its kind. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
So what this is Patrick and I have seen all of The Return. As of course everyone knows, Tyler has not seen everything that we have seen, as he is watching everything for the first time, episode by episode. We have seen all of The Return, and we are just bursting at the seams to talk about some of the things that we've got on our chest. So we figured we'd do sort of a side where we are able to speak openly and freely and just get some of this out there and just some of this off our chests.
Sure. Yeah, so as of this point too, just for the timeline purposes, I guess, we just finished a part 12 watch party. Tyler's seen up to part 12. That's where he's at. So he's in the home stretch, really.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, so Dave, your journey with The Return is an interesting one.
Yes.
Because it started with me a year or two ago. At my house, we just started watching it, because I knew, I'll never forget, I don't even know if we've talked about it on the show. I think it was Halloween a couple years ago, like 2017. I think it was like after The Return. I think it was the year of The Return. Halloween. And I was in Chattanooga. I don't know why. But we were out at a bar, Hair of the Dog. And it got brought up. Like Twin Peaks came up in the conversation. I probably brought it up because I was still obsessing. This was like a month after the show ended, and I was like still obsessing over it. And you were like, "Oh, I've seen the original," and I was like, "Dude, you gotta watch The Return." So probably flash forward to like a year later, you started watching it slowly but surely. You were just watching it with me. Whenever you'd come down to my house, like we'd pop off an episode, but it was a slow go. Yeah. But that's okay with a show like this. I mean, that's totally fine. Mm-hmm. But you surprised me here. I mean, I don't know what our goal was with The Return, but the concept of our podcast was always you and I had seen everything at least up to the end of the original run, and Tyler was fresh each week. With The Return, it was a little different. You still hadn't finished it. I think we get up to part 9, and you watched, like our recording of part 9, I should say, but you watched part 11 with us after one of our recording sessions, and I don't know if there was something in 11 that just opened something in you, because the next thing I knew, you were texting me about part 12, and then an hour later, you were texting me about part 13. An hour later, you were texting me about part 14. And I was just like, what is going on? Like a day later, you finished it. And I was like, oh, no. I was like, because I don't know what that's like to watch episodes in a row of this for the first time.
I don't recommend it.
Right. I at least had a week to like process, look up, read comments, look up theories, read articles, like cool. Mm-hmm. So tell me about your experience of your 2-day binge of parts 12 through 18.
So yeah, watching 12 through 18 in 2 sittings. I'm working overnights right now, so I would get home, kind of have the house to myself for a few hours. So I would just sit down in here with the computer. I'd pull up Showtime, and I would pop an episode off, and I would roll into 3 or 4. And I crushed it in 2 nights or mornings, whichever way you want to look at it. And it was a lot to take in. But every time I would finish an episode, I would always say to myself, like, I have to know where this goes. What is this leading to? Like, I'm getting all these nibbles, and I need a bite.